Hi and welcome to the Studio Marco Primeau. In this video, we're going to compare the Shure SM57 and the Sennheiser MD421 on snares. Of course, the MD421 is usually used on toms and other instruments, and I once saw pictures of a friend, Siegfried Myers, doing a project, and in the picture I saw the MD421 on the snare. After asking him, he said that it was superior to the 57, so I'm going to put that to the test today. Let's dive in right away. All right away we can see that the levels of both recording aren't the same. The SM57 has a couple of dBs less, so what we're gonna do is ask Samplitude to normalize the level. It does not, this one does not change. This operation does not change the file, it's just changing the levels as if you push the fader in the virtual mixer. So if I do the same thing here, 4.27 dB of difference. And this is by changing the microphone without touching to the gain on the preamp. And the preamp for this was a Focusrite ISA, included in the ISA 428. And after that, the signal goes to the Fireface UFX, which has a very good converters. So that's what we get. And now that we have the same levels, let's listen without any effects, but the whole thing. So if we rapidly check the mix, I did put a gate on the microphone inside the bass drum, and it is activated by the sub-kick mic outside. So if we go check, you see the side changes there. There's an EQ giving a bit of high frequencies to the mic inside, and the mic outside is about the contrary, keeping most of the low frequencies. After that, the snare, of course, both tracks will have the same mix because they are on the same tracks, okay? The snare, there's a high-pass filter and then a compressor, which removes about 2 or 3 dB. Let's check. Yeah, around 3.5 dB. And not more than that. And of course, the bottom snare mic has a high pass filter as well. Okay. And then gates for the toms and EQs for the toms. All right. And the reverb is this one. Very short. And I did use the same on the snare a bit, overheads, and I did put one on the room mics directly, which is right here. Whoops. Yeah, room mic right here. So we have the same, same reverb, but a compressor after it. which gives a lot of presence. We listen to this like this, maybe. Okay, and of course it's lower in the mix. You see minus 20 dB. So let's listen to the whole thing. Okay, remember that there's only this as a EQ, and I find that the 57 has a bit more presence. But what we can do is add an EQ on the object itself, so it will be this EQ that we will add, that will be processed, and then the high pass filter on both. But only the MD421 will get what I'm doing right now. And we're gonna check if we can give it a bit of spice. Compare. Anyway, you see that I won't be able to make them sound exactly the same because the difference in characters are very different. But if you want them to cut to the mix, I think that the MD will need a bit of boost in the high frequencies like I did. Another thing that we can check is the bleeding. What I did a copy of those tracks and put them at the bottom. They don't have any effects on them in the channel and either in the object. So the only thing is the level has been matched, okay, like the others. So if we pinpoint a place, okay, let's pinpoint just a place between, and we're gonna solo one and make a loop. It's going to sound annoying, but just try to figure out if the bleeding is different from one another. Okay, another spot. We can definitely hear that there's less bleeding with the MD421, but remember that the frequency curve is different. Maybe it is because the 421 has less high frequencies that you notice the bleeding a bit less. All right, we're gonna move this one a bit. All right, I think both mics are great mics to record snares. Of course, the frequencies are a bit different. The 421 is a bit fatter, and the curve in the high frequencies is different. So for some recordings, that's great. It will blend better under other instruments. And the SM57 gave a peak in the high mids, which gave it a bit more presence. But of course, it always depends how you mix them. And one thing to notice is that I did only switch from both mics, and the MD421 gives a bit more gain, so the level is a bit higher without changing anything else. Other differences, of course, the rejection, there's a bit of difference there, bleedings and stuff like that. Anyway, try it for yourself. Let me know in the comments if the results were different than mine. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the like button, consider subscribing, hit the bell to get notification. Go in the description of the videos. There's some links to buy Magix products, little kickback to the channel, and also plug-in for videos. Go to Premiere and DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that. There's a rebate as well. And of course, in the comments, let me know what you think about this video, any questions, suggestions for future videos. And another way to help the channel is to click on many videos and share those videos. Always a great help.